Good afternoon, 7th grade. How are you today? I hope you all fine. Today is the first lesson or first class of distance learning. Distance learning, it's mean التعلم عن بعد. This is the first class, yeah. And today is Sunday, 20 of September 2020. The last time we talked about jobs and what jobs that you think it's boring and what jobs that you think it's exciting or interesting. And we talk about pilot اللي هو وظيفة الطيار, and we wrote some sentence about his or the pilot routine. The pilot's routine اللي هو الحياة أو روتينه اليومي. We use the simple present. We use the present simple. استخدمنا المضارع البسيط when we write about the pilot's routine. Okay. Now open your student's book on page 6, please. Open your student's book, page 6. This is a pilot. Look at them. This is a pilot. Okay. Rashid, please write the title. This is the title of our lesson today. A day in the life of a pilot. A day. يوم في حياة. A life of a pilot. يوم في حياة طيار. Yeah, about his routine. بدهم يحكونا about his routine. Okay. The exercise number 1, it's listening. We are going to listen to a paragraph. Then we will answer these questions. Okay. Before we start, we have a new word. Please open your activity book, glossary, on the glossary, page 69. Open your activity book, page 69. Open your activity book, page 69, to the glossary, to the word, to the new word. Okay. Get this pencil, الhighlights هدول عشان نعلم عليهم. Okay. The first one is airline. 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 It's a noun. هي اسم. A company that takes passengers to different places by plane. Again, I will read it again. A company بمعنى شركة that takes passengers. Passenger اللي هم الركاب، ركاب الطائرة. To different places by plane. بواسطة الطائرة. Okay, please. Make a line on it. اعمل خط. Again. Airline. Airline اللي هي شركة أو خطوط الطيران. Airline. A company that takes passengers to different places by plane. Okay. Number 2. Airport. Airport. It's a noun. اسم كمان. A place where planes take off. What's the meaning of take off? Like this. Take off and land. Take off, land. عكس بعض. It's opposite. Take off بمعنى تقلع. Land تهبط. A place where planes take off and land with building for passenger to wait in. A place مكان where a plane take off and land. Airport, a place where planes take off and land. الطائرات تقلع وتهبط. This is the airport. Airline اللي هو company that take passenger to different places by plane. Okay. Cabin. That's mean a private room in a plane. What's the meaning of room? Room اللي هي غرفة. Cabin, a private room in a plane. Private room اللي هي غرفة موجودة بالطائرة. Private room. Okay, what else? Flight, yeah. Flight, a journey. A journey in a plane. رحلة. Flight, a journey in a plane. Flight, a journey in a plane. Okay. Forecast. Description معناها وصف. Description of what is likely to happen in the future based on the information that you have now. مش راح نحفظها هاي كلياتها. Description of likely what happened in the future based on the information that you have. Forecast اللي هو التنبؤ. إنه معلومات ممكن تكون مستقبلية، إنه ماذا سيحصل مستقبلا بناء على معلومات that you have now. أنت هي موجودة عندك. أوكي هاي لا خلوا لي إياها ما تحفظوها. اللي عليكم حفظ in English معنى إنجليزي قراءة وكتابة يا أمي تدربوا عليهن. airline a company that takes passenger to different places by plane. airport a place where planes take off and land. cabin a private room in a plane. flight a journey in a plane. هدول بدنا نحفظهن قراءة reading and writing. Yeah. Okay, this is our new word. Now let's go to our student's book. A day in the life of a pilot. A day in a life of a pilot. Okay. Exercise number 1. Read the following paragraph, then listen and answer. Read the following paragraph, then listen and answer. We are going to listen and answer some question. Okay. We always think that the life of an airline pilot, what's the meaning of airline? اللي هو قلنا شركة الطيران. Airline pilot is exciting. شو مال حياته? It's exciting and never boring. Yeah, I think it's the airline life of a pilot life is exciting. حياته exciting. There is a lot of challenging adventure. فيها adventure مغامرة. Not boring. But is this true? Is this true? ممكن يكون true. What does a pilot do before the aeroplane take off? Aeroplane اللي هي نفسها plane. طائرة aeroplane or plane. What does a pilot do before the aeroplane take off? What does a pilot do before the aeroplane take off? شو اللي بيعمله before the aeroplane take off? Now we are going to listen and know. بدنا نعرف شو اللي بيعمله. What does he do after landing? What does he do before take off? Before he take off قبل. Before he take off the airplane قبل إقلاع الطائرة شو الأشياء اللي بيعملها his routine. And what does he do after landing بعد هبوط الطائرة. Okay, now let's listen to the Jordanian pilot كريم محمود. راح أسمعكم a paragraph about كريم محمود. He talk about his journey or his flight عن رحلاته. راح أسمعكم إياها first time, then I will read it and answer the question. ونكتب what he do before and after landing. Listen carefully, please.
Page 6. Exercise 1.
I often hear the question, what does a pilot do every day? This is what I do every Sunday. 9:50 p.m. I leave the airport hotel in Madrid. I always arrive at the airport an hour before my flight, and I check in with my airline. 10 p.m. I print the weather forecast. I check the aeroplane, the flight details, and the passengers. 10:05 p.m. I get on the plane, and the flight attendants get the cabin ready. The passengers get on the plane. I make sure it is safe to fly. 10:35 p.m. The passengers are in their seats. The doors close. The plane is ready to take off. A few minutes later, we're in the sky. 3:05 a.m. It's Monday morning, and we land in Sao Paulo in Brazil. I do not fly again on the same day. A pilot does not fly more than 100 hours a month. I go to a hotel to eat and sleep.
Module 1.
Okay, I will ask you some question and I will listen it again.
1.
The first question, what day is Kareem describing? What day? What day? عن أي يوم هو? What day he can describing? Listen.
Page 6. Exercise 1.
I often hear the question, what does a pilot do every day? This is what I do every Sunday.
What day he describing? He describing Sunday. The day is Sunday. Okay. Now I will read what is what's the pilot Karim Mahmoud say about his daily routine, and you will take a note. راح تجيب paper and take a note. راح تكون معك ورقة. Take a note. What question number 1 اللي هو what, write please, what does pilot do before aeroplane takes off? You will write what does a pilot, sorry, 3 number 4. What does a pilot, write a note. What you hear write. أي إشي بتسمعه write it. ما بدي a full sentence. Just what you hear write in your paper. Get some paper. جيب لي ورقة يا أمي and write what does a pilot do before the aeroplane takes off. Write what you hear please. Anything you hear it write it. أي إشي راح تسمعه write. And I don't need a full sentence. ومش راح نحتاج أو أنا ما بدي منك a full sentence. It's okay. Number 2. And what does he do after landing? What does he do after landing? What does he do after landing? Okay, right. What does he do after landing? And what does he do before the aeroplane take off? Okay, I will read. أنا هسه راح أقرأ عشان إذا ما كنتم مو فاهمين about the pilot كريم محمود. I often hear the question, what does a pilot do every day? This is what I do every day. 9:50 p.m. I leave the airport hotel in Madrid. I always arrived at the airport an hour before my flight and I check in with the airline. The first thing check the flight. Okay. 10 p.m. I print the weather forecast. I print the weather forecast. I check the aeroplane, the flight details, and the passenger. Again, I will read it again. I print the weather forecast. بطبع weather forecast اللي هو التنبؤ حالة الطقس. I check the aeroplane. شو بعمل للaeroplane? check يتفقدها. The flight details. وكمان flight details معلومات أو details هي مش معلومات. Details of a flight and the passenger. معلومات الركاب والطائرة أو سوري مش الطائرة الرحلة. Flight يعني رحلة. 10:05 p.m. الساعة 10:05 p.m. I get on the plane. Get on اللي هو يركب. I get on the plane and the flight attendant get the cabin. The cabin. What's the meaning of cabin? شو حكينا cabin اللي هي private room in a plane. Ready. The passenger get on the plane. ومين كمان؟ The passenger اللي هم الركاب. The passenger get on the plane. I make sure it is safe to fly. Okay. 10:35 p.m. The passenger are in their seats. Seats اللي هي المقاعد. The passenger الركاب in their seats. The doors close. الأبواب close. The plane is ready to take off. الطائرة ready to take off. A few minutes later we are in the sky. Few minutes بعض الدقائق they are in the sky. Okay. 35 a.m. 3:05 a.m. الساعة 3:05 a.m. It's Monday morning and we land in Sao Paulo in Brazil اللي هي بالبرازيل. I do not fly again on the same day. A pilot does not fly more than 100 hours a month. ما بزبط إنه fly again in the same day بنفس اليوم. I get to a hotel to eat and sleep. After the plane landing, they go to the hotel to eat and sleep. Okay. Anyone write a notes؟ اللي كتبوا النوتس اللي هي الملاحظات what they hear شو سمعوا. Now we are going to write it on the grammar exercise page 6. Okay. Now open your grammar exercises page 6 please. Page 6. Okay. That's it. What do you do? A day in the life of a pilot. A day in the life of a pilot. Exercise 1 page 6 students book. Listen and answer. This is the question. What does a pilot do before? What the pilot do before the airplane take off? Before the plane take off. قبل ما تقلع الطائرة. What he do? What does the pilot do? And the question number 1. What does he do after landing? What does he do after landing? I will write what we hear. رح نكتب what he's do before the airplane take off and what he do after landing. Okay, please write what you hear. اللي سمعتوه اللي كتبتوه على البيبرز احنا هسه رح نكتبه بشكل مرتب on the worksheet. Okay. Number 1. Right. Number 1. Arrives to the airport. The first thing, he arrived to the airport an hour before his flight. قبل ساعة. An hour before his flight. قبل رحلته. Arrives to the airport an hour before his flight. Okay. Number 2. Check in with his airline. بعمل check اللي هو بتفقد شركة الطيران. Checks in with his airplane. With airline شركة الطيران airline. Okay. Number 3. He print the weather forecast. The weather okay. Number 4. He gets on the plane and make sure it's safe. Gets on the plane and make sure it's safe to fly. آمنة للطيران. Arrives to the airport an hour before his flight. بوصل قبل بساعة. Checks in with his airline. بتفقد رحلته على الخطوط الجوية أو شركة الطيران. Print the weather forecast اللي هو بطبع weather حالة الطقس التنبؤ بحالة الطقس. بعدين gets on the plane and make sure it's safe to fly. وتأكد إنها safe to fly. That's his what does a pilot do before the airplane take off. هاي اللي بيعمله. It's his daily routine اللي هو حياته اليومية. Now what does he do after landing? Okay, what do you hear? شو اللي سمعته? What does he do after landing? After landing بعد ما تهبط الطائرة in the place في مكان ما. What does he do? شو اللي بيعمله? Goes to a hotel to eat and sleep. Goes to a hotel to eat and sleep. That's it. Now we complete our exercise. خلصنا هيك بنكون خلصنا exercise number 1 اللي هو we read this paragraph and we answer about these 2 questions. جاوبنا عن 2 questions. We listen about كريم محمود. سمعنا عن كريم محمود and I read about كريم محمود وأنا قرأت لكم. And now we answer the questions here. وجاوبنا الأسئلة in the grammar exercise page 6. This is first one. What does a pilot do before airplane takeoff? And what does he do after landing? Please write them بشكل مرتب، خط مرتب. لو ما كفى معك you can make here a line. ممكن تعمل هون a line إذا كان خطك كبير. و use your pencil. استخدم قلمك الرصاص. And don't forget to لا تنسوا لي يا أمي معاني الكلمات اللي حكينا عنهن اللي هن airline. في كمان كلمة أنا نسيتها اللي هي passenger اللي هو اللي هو الركاب. passenger معناها الركاب. someone who is traveling in a vehicle اللي هي يعني بآلية but it's not driving, it's on it or working on it. يعني هو بيسوق آلية بس مش driving اللي هي إنه مسافر. someone who is traveling in a vehicle. لهنا بكفي معناها. أعيد كمان مرة. Airline, a company that takes passengers to different places by plane. Airport, a place where planes take off and land. Cabin, a private room in a plane. A flight, a journey in a plane. Forecast, description of what is likely to happen in the future based on the information that you have. هاي لا تحفظ لي إياها حاليا. no. Forecast no. اللي هي airline, airport, cabin, flight and passenger اللي هو someone who is traveling in a vehicle. Thank you. I will see you next time.